Hi guys, I am Timmy from Ishe and welcome to our first episode of Ishe podcast. I'm really excited that this is our first podcast and this is like my first time. Well, my second time apart from like the announcement video that we did that I'm really pushing myself to engage with everyone within our community. Our podcast or Isha in general is all about supporting newbies, aspiring techies, career changes, and career advancers that want to transit into tech or switch lane. You know, like that miracle water that everyone is talking about. I'm not going to mention who, but you know that fast lane miracle water. Yeah, so like we have like career changes that wants to like screw like fast lane their career and like shift basically to maybe a different tech role job, etc. So that's what we're all about. And we just basically want to provide that support for you guys as well. And like this is a podcast where we talk about things that we should not really be talking about, but we're just gonna talk about them. Really, to be honest with you, we're just gonna talk about them. Um, Life is about learning and improving, and this is our way of um giving back to our communities. We have a lot of people that are new into tech in our community, and I can't wait to like launch what we have ready for you guys. But yeah, let's get into it. So, on our podcast, if this is your first time watching or listening, we talk about things we shouldn't really speak about. So, it can be like your office, your like something happened in your office, and you just feel like, what? Like your boss is fired you for it, and you're just like, why are you firing me? Or like you told like your friend like something, and like they basically just judging you over. This is the place where we ease that tension away from you and help you create solutions that you can be better and also achieve greater things as well. And like if you're also if you've taken a career decisions that you shouldn't have taken. I mean, some people go into uni and then they study like fisheries. The first time I heard that fisheries was a degree, I was like, yo, like really? Like baby girl, like you're kidding me. But fisheries is a degree in Nigeria, like a degree, like you study like 3 years, 4 years degree thing. So I'm just like, yeah, cool. let's get to it. So this is what it is. Our topic for this episode or for this week that we're going to be talking about is why do Nigerian techies prefer software development, right? Which is crazy. Like in Nigeria alone, software developers have showed me shaky. Like spiritually, emotionally, mentally. What else can I add there? Like yeah, they've showed me Shege, like remotely, like it's just been a journey. And yeah, it's been a journey to be honest with you guys. And software development, everyone, if you're especially if you're in Nigeria, like software development is like at the pinnacle of a Gen Z that just transited into tech. But there've been people that are like older than Gen Zs, probably like millennials that already know what software development is and they've been getting ready like before us, the Gen Zs, even come into the picture. As we all know, like I'm not a software development person or developer, and if someone was to pay me like let's say 10 billion, because I don't aim small, I aim higher. So why say 1 million when you can say 10 billion? So like if they were to give me like 10 billion, I don't know. Yeah, wait a minute. Okay, that might depend whether it's in dollars or it's in pounds, because if it's really in dollars or it's in pounds, like it is giving is what I can say. It's really it's given. So yeah, like, but then the crazy thing is, ever since I started eShare, I don't think I've ever valued currency of money the way I do now, right? Because the entire team at Isha work remotely from Nigeria. And obviously, everyone values dollars so much, and it's just like, why dollars? Why not naira? Like, why dollars? Like, for me, it's different because I'm used to spending the currency of my location, and then for my team members, it's kind of like it's a whole different story, right? And I'm sure, like for all our viewers and our listeners, you can relate to majority of our team members at Isha, right? So but talking about currency and value is a whole different episode on its own. We'll get to that later. But for now, let's just stick with what our topic is, right? And our topic once again is why do Nigerian techies prefer software development? And I'm not a software development like I've previously mentioned. So I asked a couple of software developers that I know about their opinion and their perspective just before like I start sharing mine. And you know me, I come with a different opinion, you know. And my opinion is just it's not to say that what my friends and my colleagues have mentioned, like what I'm about to read out to you guys, is completely different. Like their reality is probably going to be 99.9.999 this like relatable to what you're going to hear now. So I'm going to start with the first person. And I asked everyone same question. Why did you choose software development as a career, or why do you prefer software development? Because they're all in this role. Some are working in the edtech space, some are working in the tech space, and some are working in the fintech space as well. So yeah. The first person said, in my opinion, I think most people prefer being a software developer because of the money. For some, it's passion. For me, it's not just about the better salary. It was about challenging myself to do something different. I was working as a facility manager and the work became boring. I wanted to do something that I really liked and also pays well. So this is why this person actually chose software development. And like I said, like we are a platform where it's for career advances or career changes, right? And as you can see, this person basically fast lane, like they switch lane real quick, you know, like it was real quick, like miracle, like chill. So they from facility manager to software development, and the overall thing that I can pick up from here is he's passionate about what he do, and he wants to continue to be passionate about what he like continues to do, which is why he chose software development, right? So that's the first person. I'm going to go to the second person now. Let me just find it. If I can find it. Okay, cool, I found it. Okay, this one is a bit lengthy, but we'll get through it. The next person said, for me, I would prefer Nigerian tech ecosystem. I would say, sorry, Jesus. For me, I would say Nigeria's tech ecosystem is still growing, and there is a demand for the service of software developers. And also with the direction of technology, everything is digital, and this would mean that there are opportunities in the sector, which is true. Honestly, that is true. I think in Nigeria, in Africa, we rank third of the largest country that produce software development. And like I looked at the number. I think I'll share the number with you guys later on, but it's a lot, right? So let's pick it back up. I became a developer because I had a drive and love for technicality. You see this person? You see this person when they say, I'm not even gonna say he she, when they say technicality, like bro, I like he's not they're not lying. Okay? They are not lying. That person is not lying. Technicality is the core of software development. and I am always fascinated to see how things work behind the scenes. For some people, the reason they go into tech is either the flexibility they get from working remotely or anywhere, but majorly for the money they are they are they are paid, which sometimes would mean sorry, I got lost. Anywhere but majorly for the money they are paid, which sometimes they would get people doing multiple gigs at once because it takes time to climb the ladder, right? It does take time to climb the ladder, especially in tech in general. Like climbing the ladder is it's a lot, especially with like also there's so much information being passed left and right, backwards and center, forward and leftwards, like just so much. In summary, I would say the reason why Nigerian techies prefer software developers are the roles are very financial, the English, financial beneficial. Oh God. It's beneficial financially, yes, flexibility and also global opportunities. For some, passion for problem solving, continuous learning, and entrepreneur opportunities as well. Yes, those two things are major, and I think those two things, most of the software development or the startups that we currently have in Nigeria, such as like Child Deck, is like the CTO and the founder, they know software development, and most of these products that are coming out from Nigeria lately have like a founder that are heavily like focused on software as like an expertise. But for me, that's not the case. I'm a non-technical babe. Do you get it? Like that's just what it is. So I'm going to go to the next person as well, and this is what the next person had to say. From my perspective, one of the main reasons people choose to become software developers is job availability. This is common. This has been a common thing, like global opportunity, entrepreneur opportunity, flexibility. This is like the job availability has been the most common thing that the last three people that I've shared with you have mentioned so far. Although there are other factors that drew me to become back-end engineering, the abundance of job opportunity played a significant role in my decision. That's very interesting because when this person said back-end engineering, it was more like they were comparing it to front end. Front end for me is quite saturated, and I'll tell you guys later, like my reasons as well. But I completely understand why this person went for backend because backend is not something that is being spoken about a lot. And backend is not, it's an easier route to get a job because it's quite small and it only takes a level of people to be able to get the backend right. Like front end, I believe yes. Like if you choose to go into front end now, you can. There's certain things that you can pick up easily, right? Except like if it's like a complex product, but if it's like an easy going product, yeah, you can pick that up real quick, real fast. But back end, there are layers to it, right? So this was quite strategic when this person actually went straight forward to back end engineering. But let's continue. Some people argue that the field of software development is saturated, but it is easier to land a job as a developer compared to other tech roles like product management. Yo, that is crazy because I always think operational roles. By the way, if you guys don't know what operational roles are what helps business to grow. So, what are like operational roles? You have customer success. Even customer success is broken down into layers, right? But we'll get into all of that later on. So, yeah, like product management. For instance, a project might hire 2 to 3 developers, but only one manager, or sometimes none at all. Job opportunities for developers are plentiful, whether they are full-time positions or part-time contracts. That is true. I do agree with that. Is yeah, it is. But I'm just about to counter a bit, right? This is the last person's opinion and their view. Bear in mind, these are views of individuals, so don't go attacking people. And if you disagree with what they've said, you can always comment down below, or you can always like send us a message on LinkedIn, on anywhere on socials. We're ready for you 24/7. You get it? Like, yeah. But this is the last person, right? Okay. Sorry. The person started this conversation with for why I chose this career path. Okay. Generally, I was in school and I was looking for what I could do that could get me some money. So I was with my friend who is a UI UX designer and very financially stable. We talked and he told me to go for front end. I wanted code based tech because it is cool. He got me my first Udemy course and I started that way. That is very nice. Like speaking to a friend of yours and like they're also like encouraging you and supporting you and pushing you. That is like that unlocks a new level of motivation because when people pay for people to study, etc., is kind of like the opposite. But like in this case, like based off who this person is, I'm sure like that thing, having someone that actually paid for the first course will actually keep pushing them to keep moving forward. And if you want to talking about, motivating people, if you want to give anyone a scholarship for learning front end or back end development courses, you can also contact us at hello at ishareschool.co. So just to put that out there, they said we should sell markets. So I'm just here to sell my markets. Sure you get. But yeah. So he got me my first Udemy course and I started on that way. I think software development is what people want because of money involved. Especially in Nigeria, software development was also something I chose because the level of brain work needed for it. Yes, it's completely true. And I completely agree with what everyone have said and all the statements that I've also read to you guys, right? Tech is really, really broad, broad, right? So it's not like a one man show or like one thing basically. If you were to ask for my opinion now, I would say software development was probably the only skill that was introduced to Nigerians in Nigeria, right? That was like the only thing. That was probably like one of the first tech goals that was introduced, even before everyone started picking out product management. Because for you to manage a product, you need software development, and for you to um, have design screens, you also need software development, right? Which I completely agree with. My opinion is like the markets, like I said, the topic goes back to why do Nigerians techies prefer software development? And it's simple. It's huge. It's a huge, big, big market with a lot of opportunities and global opportunities, right? But I'm just a bit skeptical, right? I don't like playing devil's advocate, so I'm just gonna play God's advocate. You sure you get? Let's play God's advocate a bit, right? You're a newbie in the game. software development has been in the market for, let's say, for the last 3 years, right? And the numbers of people that keep learning software development, whether front end, whether back end. And also, I've just learned to realize that software development actually doesn't stop in front end and back end. It's quite vast, right? But in Nigeria, in Nigeria, what is software development? The first two things that will come to you or to your head is front end and back end. So I'm not even going to complicate it way too much and tell you other roles in the software that is under the software area. Let's just stick with front end and back end because I believe those roles are very, very saturated. There are a lot of people in that market. Even people that don't need to be in that market are in that market, right? Which is hard for people to get jobs. Like, I know these people's opinion that I've shared with you are, I'm sure like most of them are actually working full time or part time or like on a contract job, right? But then you also have like junior or like maybe even senior. Okay, I think most seniors actually have jobs, but like let's say a junior developer, probably has been looking for a job for like the past 2 years, right? And they haven't gotten a job. Why am I saying I want to play God's advocate is you might be in the wrong market and you don't know. Yes, we have a lot of traction. Yes, we have a lot of software products. Yes, because we have a lot of software products, we have to produce a lot of software developers. I'm not it's a fact. Everyone will agree with that. However, for businesses, right, their main goal should not really be software developers. It should be about the users and the products, right? Which is another conversation. Software development is saturated, and I will keep saying it's saturated because that was the only skill that was probably introduced to majority of people. Now, if we were to take away software development, what are the other tech job roles in tech? Like I said, we have customer success, we have sales engineer, we have talent acquisition, which falls under HR or people's management. What else do we have? We have business development. We have technical support. What else do we have? We have designers, UI, UX designers. We have project manager. We have operational leadership role. We have so many, bro. Like we have so many, which is good. But I always want to make sure that if people are working in a specific market or with a specific skill, with let's say 10 people inside that same skill, they should always do what is best to stand out, which I think is like the problem. It's very hard to actually find software developers in Nigeria. We have over, let's do a quick research, right? Um, so based off Tech Kebab, Nigeria grew developers talent number by 45.6% between the quarter three of 2022 and quarter three of 2023 to 8,702 800 8,702 160, right? The fastest growth in Africa. I'm not good with numbers, so then well I am good with numbers, but like yes. So that's a lot of people, right? And that's actually off. Imagine the people that are offline, the amount of communities that we have that don't have data, the amount of low key software companies that we have that don't have data. When I'm talking about data, I'm talking about like employee data to be able to keep track of how many people actually work in this role and what they actually do. Listen, if you want to become a software developer, developer. I am not stopping you from becoming a software developer. We're not putting this podcast out there, or this topic or this conversation out there to restrict you. We just want you to know what you're in for. And we also want you to hold yourself accountable and say, okay, there's nothing about being aspiring software developer. Don't be those people on LinkedIn that has like aspiring software developer. Then in that LinkedIn bio, they have catering, and then they have customer service, and then they are also a mechanic. Don't be that person. If you know that software development is who you are, what you want to do, then go for it. Why? My own is, from the outside looking in, I don't think it's the best option for everyone, because when everyone falls into that same category, and you know the crazy thing about being a Nigerian is, or us being a Nigerian is, when we see a pot that is shining, yes, when we see a pot that's shining, we always want to like, we're very curious, we're a curious person. We want to know, why is it shining? In this case, why are you shining? We want to know why. We want to know, like, there's this slang like, show me how to fish. Like this slang is for Yahoo boys. Like, show me how to fish. Like, show me the way. Did you get it? Like, it's just like, why do you need to know? But then at the same time, people need to know so that they can progress in life as well. I would never really, okay, I would not say never, but I would not always advise everyone to go for the route of software development, because is it the most safest job in terms of job security? I would say no, because things change all the time. Technologies changes, programming changes. Your startup or where you work as a big tech company might be using I, this is why I'm not a programmer. They might be using Nest.js. I think that's even for backend, right? And the front end is using what, PHP or something. And they look at it and they're like, oh, AI came. Why don't we just use AI to automate everything that we do? You lose your job automatically. Obviously, you might not lose your job. Like someone said, like a startup company might hire over 3 developers or 5 developers just to keep the products going. But the moment AI comes into play, they will reduce the developers to 2, because if 5 developers can even an AI can carry out the work of 5 developers, then 5 developers have to go. And even AI can carry out the job of 2 developers, then 2 developers stays, and we have AI to solve and to do the rest of the work, right? Is software development the safest job in terms of job security for Nigerians? I would say no, it's not. Everyone, if you have, then you should be on that lane and you should not really look back. I would not advise you to look back. If you've been in software development for over 2 years or 3 years, the main goal there is for you to keep pushing and keep looking forward. For if you're looking for global opportunities, or you're currently working in a startup, or you're currently working in a big tech company, whether it's fintech and you want to move to e-commerce, and you want to move to fashion and manufacturing, or you want to move to F-tech, then listen, do that. But if you're a complete newbie, like fresh out of graduates, like, explore, right? You should not rush. Don't feel pressure. Don't feel like, oh, like all your friends are talking about software development, is bringing in money, is giving like money, dollars raining on the bill. No, listen, baby girl, like, explore. Do you get it, my guy? Like, explore your option. You can explore customer success. Customer success is huge. It's broad and broader, because you can work in different teams. If you're in customer success, you don't just have to work in the customer service alone. You can work with the data team, you can work with the design team, you can work with the developers, you can work with the marketing team, Even as a data person, you can work as a data person for the design team and be collecting data for the design team and be arranging those data. You can work for the development team, making sure that the quality assurance is good, the data, the endpoints, everything is being processed in the most safest way as possible. You can work with the marketing team, collecting data, upgrade them, knowing how many followers we have, how can we improve that? Listen, it is huge. It is not a small market. It is huge. So don't always think because you have like Agba Tech on Twitter telling you that, listen, I have a volunteering job and it's like it's going to pay you, it's going to pay for your data. And you feel like, oh, because you need data, like let me quickly jump on that. If you're jumping on that for experience, right? Because you within yourself have decided and you're committed to learning software development, then take it up as an experience. But if you're looking at it like, oh, like it's just a quick data, my guy, like, listen, bounce back and let the person that needs it fall in line for them, right? So you just explore your options and research. Make sure that you're not sticking with the niche or what is normal. And I think that's where we go wrong in the societies. Like we stick with what is normal and what brings in money, instead instead of thinking about the future, instead of thinking about 6 months, 3 months, not thinking about now or how your friends are doing, you have to think about how you're doing and where you see yourself. Let that be a motivation for you. Let that be a drive for you, not that your advice on Twitter telling you that software development pay, enroll now, apply now, you get an internship. But this is another conversation because I also think many agbabolas in tech on Twitter, they be capping, right? They be leading people astray. But at the same time, you as a person needs to know what is best for you. So that brings me to the end of our episode today. I hope you love it. I hope you like it. And do you agree with me? Let's keep the conversation going. Why do Nigerian techies prefer software development? Let me know in the comments whether you agree or disagree with me. Like I said, this is a space for us to learn and to keep supporting each other in the tech space because it's not an easy journey for you alone. And this is the community where you can build, you can learn, you can work, and you can succeed. Yeah, so and before we go, don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends and your family about Isha Podcast. And let's get it to 1,000. Really, I should be saying 500 subscribers, but let's try to do 1,000. But yeah, don't forget to follow us across all our social media. And if you have a topic for us, make sure you click on the Google Form link below. And if you also have a story, make sure you drop in your story as well. We're not going to mention your name, it's going to be anonymous. And when you go through the form, it's just gonna be like, yo, what's up? What's your story? What's your story? What's your topic? Let's go. Bye bye. So yeah, I've been your host and I've enjoyed this episode today, and I will see you guys on the next episode. Bye.